everyone, it's Maria here from pepperlyrose.blogspot.com.au. I am an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Thank you all so much for joining me, and today I would like to thank you all so much for your lovely encouragement and your lovely support for my previous video. I found it a little daunting to go in front of the camera, but I'm so glad I did, and I want to thank you all for being so kind. I really do appreciate it. So today I'm going to show you how to make a little 2x2 box, cube box, but it's actually foldable, so you can make multiples of these and they will fold flat for you, and there's no adhesive other than the one little strip that you put together when you put the box together, and that is it. So I'm going to be focusing on the little reindeer image today from the Cookie Cutter Christmas stamp set, which is in our annual catalogue, and the matching punch. So lots and lots of fun. So I'm going to show you now how to make this box. Very, very simple. So what you need is a piece of scrap crumb cake, so we can stamp that little reindeer on that, and you'll need a piece of real red cardstock or whatever colour of your choice, and it is 7.5 by 8.5 inches. Now before we begin with scoring and what have you, we're going to do a little bit of stamping. I'm just going to grab some paper, some scrap paper I've got lying around here. I'll just bring my grid paper, just bear with me for a second. Wasn't prepared for this one, but I'm going to use my Stampin' Up grid paper, and we'll put that down there. Okay, and what we're going to use is some cherry cobbler ink, because I want this to be quite dark on the real red. So I'll just stamp on here. See, it has a nice look to it there. I like that. You can do them upside down if you like. Why not? Make them look cute. So we'll just stamp our all over. We're making our own DSP, if you will. Make this one go on its side. And I love photopolymer stamps because you can see exactly where you're stamping. And I like cherry cobbler on real red. It looks great. It makes the tone on tone a little more obvious too, which is what I want for this box. So just keep stamping away there. And the secret to getting good images really is to just hold your stamp down for a few seconds. Make this one go upside down. So then it looks truly random. Okay, so that's how that looks. Isn't that great? And I'm just going to clean my stamp for a minute because, oops, I'm going to be using some different ink next. I'm just going to get all our stamping done all in one hit. Okay, so that's now clean. I'll pop this away for a second, and I'm just going to bring my crumb cake cardstock there, and I'll take this away. We don't need that right now. Okay, now when you're stamping the reindeer, you have to stamp it according to what it looks like on your punch. So you've opened your punch up, and that's like the gingerbread man and the Santa and the Eskimo and the bear. okay? But this is facing the other way. So when you're stamping it, it's best to stamp it upside down so then it looks like that. So it's the same as the punch. So I'm just going to ink up my stamp in chocolate chip ink. So I'll just ink it up in chocolate chip. Make sure I ink it up well. I've got an older style ink pad here and it's a felt one, so I've got to work at it a little more. And this is in desperate need of ink. So I'll just quickly do my best to ink it up, and I think that's great. I'm just going to huff on it a little just to make sure that it stamps well. And I'll just stamp it right over here. And I'll just hold it down for a few seconds just to make sure that the image transfers onto there. And that turned out pretty good. That turned out great. So I'll just turn it the right way up now. And I'll just clean my stamp just so that, because I'm going to stamp again. And this time I'm using a marker. I'm using a real red marker, so I'll just quickly give that a good clean, because I don't want to contaminate my marker. Okay, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to get some real red strip of cardstock, and I'm just going to ink up the little nose of my reindeer. Okay, so I'm just going to get my Stampin' Write marker, and I'm just going to colour in just the nose. And I'm going to stamp the nose on my scrap piece of real red. So I'll just stamp that. Okay, and there we have that image now all stamped. Just going to make it look like Rudolph, so I'll give that a clean and to minimise the staining. It's going to stain, no doubt, but it doesn't matter as long as I can see through it. That's my main goal. But yeah, as long as you clean your stamps pretty much as soon as you use them. I've got bits there I didn't get. Okay, that's better. Okay, sorry I'm doing housekeeping on here. Okay, so that's done now. Alrighty, so I'm just going to do a little bit of fussy cutting. So I'm just going to cut off the nose. So I'll just trim that down and I'll just do some fussy cutting of the nose. It doesn't take very long, so I'm not going to fast forward this because I think it's a good idea for you to see it in real time. And just to see, it doesn't really take that long. Okay, so the nose is now cut. So as you can see, it'll just be there. So I'll just grab my tweezers and I'm going to glue it down. Okay, you can use your Tombow, liquid glue, whatever you've got lying around, it's all fine, it'll all work. And then I'm going to grab my soft suede marker and I'm just going to colour in the antlers. And then I'm going to colour the inside of the ear as well. So keep within the lines as much as you can. And that's how I colour, I just keep within the lines. I love these markers, they are beautiful. And you can do stamp, you know, colouring on the stamp directly, which is fantastic with these markers. So these markers are phenomenal, I like those. I'm just going to colour in the ear, in the ear there. And now that's all done. How cute is that? Seriously, how gorgeous is that? Alright, so I'll grab my punch and I'm going to punch this little reindeer right out. Now maybe I shouldn't have stuck the nose down so early, but that's okay. So I'm just going to now square up the punch with the image and make sure it's all even all around. Okay, so I give myself a bit of time to this. I'm not going to rush it. And I bet you I'll stuff it up anyway. Let's see. And there we have it, beautifully punched out. How cute is this? Gorgeous. Okay, so we'll bring back our real red piece of cardstock there, and we're going to now start scoring to make our box. So on our 8.5 inch side, just got my cheat sheet there. On the 8.5 inch side, we are going to score at half, 2.5, 4.5, and at 6.5 inches. Okay, so on the 8.5 inch side, we score at 1/2 inch, 2.5 inches, 4.5 inches, and 6.5 inches. Then we're going to switch this around to the 7.5 inch side, and we are going to score again at half, 2.5, 5 inches, sorry, yeah. Oops, did I do the wrong side? Jeez. 5 inches, I meant to say. Oh, I scored it wrong. 5 inches. So don't worry about that. And then at 7. Okay. If you've made a mistake like I have, you can turn it around and you can just lightly go over the top of your mistake score line. So I'll use the thicker one, and that'll bring it right out. So it's not as obvious now. So if you ever do that, that's what you can do. Okay, so I put the scoreboard away, and we're going to burnish the score line. So we're going to bring up our bone folder. Now with this box, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some chocolates in there. I found some nice little Santa chocolates at my Aldi store, and I've got some snowmen as well. So we're going to put a whole bunch of these in this box, so they'll make a nice little gift. So we'll just burnish the score lines. And see, now that I have actually pressed this down and burnished that score line, the old one you can hardly tell is even there. It's very, very faint now, so that was great. So if that ever happens, don't worry. And then we finish all that. Then we go on here. Okay, now we're going to do a bit of cutting. Okay, so on here, on this 1/2 inch side here on the left, we're going to cut up, cut that all off and that off. So I'll just do that and cut that right off. And I'll do the same on that side. And cut that right off. Okay, now we're going to leave this one as is, and we're going to just cut up on all of those score lines. So I'll just turn it upside down. So this is the top half. So we'll make sure that our pattern's, yeah, this way. So we'll put that up. So on this one here, oh, and I'll cut up the score lines here too. Might as well do that all in one hit. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to cut this off. Okay, with these ones here, we're going to trim this bit off, that half an inch there, and we're going to mitre it in. Because this helps when you fold it afterwards. And the same with this one. I'm going to cut that bit off, that half an inch, and we're going to mitre that flap in. We leave this one as is. On the top here, we're going to cut this one off. Oops. Okay, cut that off. So it looks like that. And with this one, again, we're going to trim that half inch off, and we're going to mitre this in. And then with this one, I'm going to cut that off. Oops. And we're going to mitre that in. So now your box will look like that, okay? What we will need to do is trim off any ugly score lines. As you can see, that has a score line there. So we're going to trim that off, but very close, so it just looks nice and even. And this will help with the closure of the box, but don't do too much, otherwise it won't close properly. So just only the score line, just this little nothing there, if you have that. And same goes with this other one down here too. We'll just trim off any ugly score lines, because this will help with the closure of your box. And this one needs very little, just down here. Okay, just a little uneven. Okay, so that's that one. Now, I forgot to grab my corner rounder, so just give me a moment and I'll quickly grab that. I always forget something. Oh, where are you, corner rounder? Oh, just use this one instead. Oh. Okay. Now, Stampin' Up doesn't sell corner rounders anymore, but I still have my Project Life one from last year. So what you need to do is just going to round the corners on here and here. So this is the top flap, so we're going to do that. Make sure you square it up there and it gives you a better cut. I mucked that one up. Now, this one the same too. Just corner that one and that. So now that's all done. Nice and easy, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to apply adhesive on this side over here. So when we fold over the box, it's going to look like that. See? Too easy, okay? So I'll just grab my Fast Fuse. You can use Fast Fuse, liquid glue, you can use whatever you wish. I'm going to use Fast Fuse because it's nice and strong and it's convenient. Just make sure you get all the corners there and we're done. Too easy. So we're just going to now fold that over. And all you need to do now is we'll go underneath here. Okay, so that's now folded under. Beautiful. See, no adhesive. Now these ones are a little bit too much, so just take off a little bit more of the flap there. And actually I'll leave the ones down the bottom so that it gives more support in there for your stuff. But there you go, okay? So that's your box all done. Isn't that just the coolest box? It's actually not 2 by 2, it's actually a little bit more than that. So I'm going to cut in a thumb notch. So again, I'm just going to bring in my 1-inch circle punch. So I'm just going to put in a little thumb notch just to make it easy. So I forgot to bring that out. So I'm going to bring in my 1-inch circle punch. So that's that one from Stampin' Up. And I'm just going to do a little tiny, just very little. Okay, so that it's easy to open it. Just trim this off a little bit, and like that. Okay. Oh, that closes much better now. Okay, so that's all done. So let's just put some chocolates in there so you can see how much fits in here. So I'll put some Santas in here, quite a bit there. Look at that. That's quite a bit of chocolate there. And some snowman. Oops. Put a few more Santas in there. And look, it fits quite a bit of chocolate. You can put Kisses in there. You can put Hershey's Kisses. You can put the Barchi chocolates, which are divine. And Lindor balls will fit in there, no problem. So you can fit quite a bit in there. Okay, so that's your box all done. So that's the box down all there. And now I'm going to bring my little reindeer, and we're just going to get some twine. So I've just got some twine here. I'll just pop this up. Yeah, I'm just going to tie a knot to start off with. Actually, I just wanted to show you too, it does fold flat. So before I do all of that, look at this. You undo that, and it folds flat. So it's a great little box. I love this box. It's such a good box. So we'll just do the underneath. This one I didn't trim off these flaps down the bottom. They go practically right to the edge there, but it's good because it provides that support for this not to fall down, and it shouldn't. It's quite snug. We'll put our chocolates all back in there again. So you can fit quite a bit in there. All these chocolates, yum yum. Make great little gifts. Okay, close that up. So this is a great box. Oops, my little snowman was left behind. So these make great little gift boxes, very cute. You can put all sorts of things in here. Now I'm going to cut a little hole. I'm going to put a little hole right in that, through that antler there. So I'm just going to bring my hole punch. I've got a crocodile here that Stampin' Up used to sell years ago, and I haven't given it away, and I'm not likely to either. Okay, so that's what that is if you're wondering. So I've cut a little hole there, see that? So I'm going to now do up my twine, make sure it's even, tie a knot to start off with. I'm going to put my twine through that hole of my reindeer antler there. Now I'm just going to tie a bow. It's funny, when I'm on camera, I can never do it properly. It's pretty terrible. Okay, there we go. I did it. Yay! I did the bow. I'll just give that a slight little trim. And then we have a cute little box with this little reindeer as like a little tag. This is so adorable. It's so cute. So I hope you like this project. If you're stuck for ideas, this is a great size, and you can actually fit quite a few things in there. So that's the box and the project today. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you again next time. Bye.